Joined by Coach Stan Van Gundy and Grant Hill, this is Brian Anderson. Allie LaForce is our reporter. Tip-off goes to the Celtics. Now here's Holiday. Pass to White. 4-3. Count it. 1 for 1 to start the game. And Grant, having a lengthy bench, so important in the NBA.
It really is. I mean, there's always the risk of guys getting hurt throughout the season. So the teams know the value of having a very deep rotation, and they make the most of their bench, which is smart.
And the jam by Gobert.
Yeah, they could feel that dunk all the way in France. Gobert with the huge dunk.
Outside White. Back to Holiday. There's the three. White can't hit. About a minute played here so far in the first. Here's Roy. And they double up Gobert. Pass to Roy. Let's go with a three. And he's in the books. Now 1 for 2.
Hey, good to get him going right away. I mean, those are the shots that really boost confidence.
Yeah, it's always nice to see him drop in a triple early in the game. That'll set him up for success the rest of the way.
Holiday from long range. Can't get it to go. Missed his first one. And Grant, the success of teams like the Timberwolves showing that size still matters.
Yeah, in this pace and space era, that may have come into question just a bit, but size and skill combined has always been your best bet at winning.
And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Well, I had a chance to catch up with head coach Chris Finch. We discussed just how difficult Jason Tatum is to guard and what he wants his team to do against him. And coach told me he's a very talented and polished player. I told our guys to stay in front of him, don't fall for the pump fakes, play smart and under control. It's easier said than done, but we'll see if they're up to the task. Guys, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Allie. Now here's Randall. 4 on the clock. Shot is good by Edwards.
I just love the ball movement.
And so it's Tatum who brings up the ball for the Boston Celtics. Trailing by 8. Here's Porzingis. Again, the miss by Boston.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better look. That's one he's got to knock down.
Here's Roy to the paint. It's stolen by Tatum. Fast break. Here come the Celtics. They get the rebound. The kick out to White. Inside. Here's Holiday. And Holiday powers it home.
And Holiday's vertical is still sneaky good. At 6'4", he's capable of hammering it down.
And they call an illegal screen here.
The screener was leaning a bit right there. His feet may not have been planted. Pretty obvious call by the officials.
Look, you can get away with a lot in terms of screens today. You can't make it that obvious.
And Joe Mazzulla calls timeout here. Coach wants to speak to his guys, maybe alter some of the game plan. Celtics trail by 6. Now Holiday. And stolen by Edwards. Ooh, poked away. Here's Middleton. Count it. 1 for 1 to start the game.
With how well he shoots it, you can forget Middleton is 6'7". That size and high release point helps him close in.
Here's Roy. And there's the drive. Banked it in off the glass. Roy's got 5.
Getting out to a nice lead. Great flow and great execution.
Tatum with a screen. Outside Porzingis. And it's off from three-point range. And here's Minnesota now. They're on a 13-4 run. Pass to McDaniels. It's Edwards on the wing. Clark outside. Clock at 6. Shot is up. The rebound, Celtics.
Yeah, loose coverage by the defense, but he just couldn't make them pay.
Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up.
And Porzingis is a huge presence. Sometimes the defense has no choice but to foul.
Both free throws good from Porzingis.
Well, you have to appreciate a big man who can step up to the line and knock it down with confidence.
And Jaylen Brown gets a whistle that time. That's his first foul.
First team foul. Celtics substitution.
17 seconds left in the first quarter here. Right side Edwards. They set the pick. 1 second left. Oh, no good on the last second attempt there. And we've reached the end of the first quarter. It's Minnesota. They lead by 4. And the... And for those of you just tuning in, second quarter action is where we are. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for Minnesota.
Well, the coaching staff's game plan is very clear. Move the ball on the perimeter and shoot the shots with no hesitation.
They've also been quick to set up their teammates, wasting no time making the extra pass for the open look.
Celtics trail by 4. Tatum with it. DiVincenzo picks him up. Tatum with a screen. Beyond the arc. Kept alive by Boston. Pass to Garnett. From deep. Reed with the rebound. Minnesota leading by 4. Stan, you look at the Celtics, as high-powered as they come offensively.
No question, Brian. They can space the floor at every position, and any one of their starters is able to give you 20 on a given night.
And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
Brian, Anthony Edwards, his disposition just brightens a locker room. Coach Chris Finch said he's an absolute joy to coach. Always in a great mood with a great smile. It doesn't matter if he plays well or he doesn't. Every day he has the same approach and the same attitude.
And he wants to be great, Allie. There's no doubt about that. DiVincenzo driving. Three-pointer. And Reed gets the 3. Reed's got himself on the board with a 3 there.
Such a confident shooter. Reed was ready as soon as the ball got to him.
And now the T-Wolves on the break. Here's McDaniels. Flushes it down to finish the break.
Talk about taking advantage of the opportunity.
How about the anticipation right there that led to the steal? Then he goes straight to the bucket.
Turning great defense into great offense. That's the kind of stop you're looking for.
And Joe Mazzulla calls timeout here. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over.
Substitution on the court.
And it's Holiday with the ball for the Boston Celtics. 11-point game. Pass to Porzingis. That one falls. Nice feed that time from Holiday. Porzingis has got 5.
Well, at center, Porzingis gives you a true 3-level scorer. That's why he's so valuable offensively.
Here's Reed. And this is a star-driven league. But talk about the importance of role players, Greg.
Oh, B.A., a lot of times they're the ones who carry the day. You know what you'll get from your stars, but when the X factor ignites, that can make the difference.
Well, this is what you love to see. Porzingis attacking the rim.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second. To the middle. Here's Reed. A slam dunk by Reed.
That's just a great pass. Excellent vision to see the open spot in the defense and lead it to the score.
Porzingis misses.
They have a decent advantage in regards to rebounding.
Outside read. Pass to Randall. Fires the three. That one goes. Now he's 1 for 2.
Yeah, a shot that Randall has added to his repertoire. Shooting the three with confidence now. You know, a reliable veteran like Julius Randall is so valuable. He provides a foundation for everyone else to play off of because they know he'll be there to score and help out. He makes it easier for other players to succeed around him.
See, now that layup isn't possible without the help of the pick.
There's a minute 26 left to play in the half. Hits the trifecta. Conley's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Back-to-back threes, making their defense work on the perimeter a bit.
Holiday. And he converts the layup.
What a great take by Holiday. Saw a path to the rim and took it.
Here's Roy. And that makes him 3 for 4. He's looking good.
And so far, there's been tremendous cohesion offensively this quarter.
On the wing, Holiday. Middleton outside. Pass to Brown. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. And you look at Jaylen Brown, Graham. Not many wings have the strength he has.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown could dunk over a brick wall, and he could dunk through a brick wall, too. And it's just so hard to move him off his path when he's on his way to the rim.
And when you talk about Jaylen Brown, you have to bring up his two-way ability. He's a pure scorer who can also guard the opposing best wing. There aren't a lot of guys like Brown in the league.
It's Brown on the wing. Fires from deep. Downtown, Jaylen Brown.
It was a rough start for them scoring the ball, but they look like now they're really finding their rhythm and flow.
And here's Conley. Pass to Randall. To the inside. Nice dish, and the layup goes down. Roy's got 6 here in the quarter.
Credit their discipline. They've been working for high percentage shots.
And so it's Minnesota closing out the quarter ahead by 11 points. Getting lots of great looks, shooting it well. That's why they're up. Time for a quick break, then back to the action. And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Randall with it. Pass to Edwards. Here's Gobert. Oh, sweet move. Oh, he got it with a pump fake, but he couldn't finish. Holiday drives in. DiVincenzo with it. Now guarded by White. Now here's Randall. Fires at the elbow. And it comes off the front of the rim.
That's a decent look for him. He just couldn't convert.
Middleton looking around. Buries the jump shot. Here's Randall. Pass to DiVincenzo. It's Edwards on the wing. Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. 5 to shoot. From 10 feet away. Count it, good. Edwards got 8.
Well, right there, Edwards uses the screen to create the space he needs.
One thing you can say about Boston, Grant, they know how to put a team together.
Yeah, the Celtics' consistency of winning is just impressive, both now and throughout their entire history. They are really the gold standard in this league, and it's mostly because of great draft picks and great trades.
And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
Well, the Timberwolves are one of the biggest teams in the association, and Coach Chris Finch said, quote, "That's how we're built. It's part of our identity." That's what we have to lean into. We want to be big at the rim and force our size on opponents. Brian, he loves to see other teams hesitant to venture into the paint.
Hearing footsteps, right? Allie, thanks. Off target with the three.
Not a great start to this second half, just 1 for 4. Got to find ways to generate better looks here.
Nice rebound. Trying to match the other team's intensity right now.
Oh, Edwards just pulling his way inside.
Just a ferocious play by Edwards. Taking the contact, but staying committed to his finish.
And Joe Mazzulla has called timeout. He'll take the opportunity to regroup. Celtics trail by 13. Pass to Garnett. Now here's Tatum. Here's Garnett. Reed defending. Here's Tatum. And it's good. Off the back rim and in. Tatum's got his first points of the night.
And look, when Tatum is running the pick and roll, the majority of the time, he's looking to score.
Outside Edwards. McDaniels up top. Pass to Roy. Left side McDaniels. Shot clock at 5. Releases. Boston pulls it in.
When the defense is playing off you like that, you want to be able to convert. But that time, he just couldn't get it done.
Middleton outside. Here's Brown. The offensive rebound. Tatum feeling it out a bit. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits. The Timberwolves lead by 11. And, Coach, how about Naz Reid, the 2024 Sixth Man of the Year award winner?
Yeah, Brian, sort of unique. We often associate that award with shooting guards. But although he's a big, Reid is more than capable of putting up big numbers, including from long distance.
Stan, a late first-round pick in 2020. Jaden McDaniels, one of the top young two-way players in the league.
Well, Brian, last season he was rewarded with a big money extension. His play tailed off just a bit, but still a key player for them moving forward.
Here's Roy. 11 points in the game. Clark with the screen. Left side Reed. Lets the three fly. The rebound by Jason Tatum.
And I'm surprised that didn't go down. I mean, I'm sure he is too.
And Joe Mazzulla has called timeout. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. Boston making a switch here. Here's Middleton. Here's Garnett. And the deficit down inside single digits.
I mean, the versatility of Middleton. Not just a scorer, also a solid passer and distributor.
Here's Randall. And Porzingis with the block. Pass to Garnett. Brown inside. Here's Garnett. The three, Porzingis. From deep range, KP hits it.
In full-on catch-up mode. They're raining threes right now.
Now Randall. The floater. It's hauled in by Garnett.
And it didn't register as an official block, but he did everything you want in disrupting that shot.
Well, you know, sometimes the most pivotal plays don't always go on the stat sheet.
And we've walked. And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. Here's Tatum. Pass to Holiday. Back to Tatum for three. JT for three.
Well, look at how his team works to get Tatum set up for success. Feeding him when he's ready to fire.
Here's Roy. Now here's Edwards. Fires the three. Randall outside. Pass to Edwards. Second chance shot. Robbed. Here's Porzingis. And a slam dunk by Porzingis.
Yeah, Porzingis finishes the break. I like teams rewarding their big men for running the floor.
Randall on the screen. Outside Edwards. Pass to Roy. Just 5 to shoot. And that's out of bounds. Last touch by White.
Almost had the steal. You have to love the pressure defense.
Yeah, deflections are a stat that a lot of teams track, disrupting the offense's rhythm and flow.
Down low. Porzingis. Oh, it's Porzingis with the jam.
Well, one of the premier offensive players in the league, Kristaps Porzingis is hot tonight, putting on a show.
Back to Holiday. And there's a pick. Outside White. To the middle. Here's Tatum. Look at Tatum using his length. All right, guys, what do you think about the hustle stats for Boston?
Well, they've shown just outstanding effort defensively, and it's resulted in several forced turnovers.
They've also been showing a standout play on the fast break, working as a team to create easy opportunities.
Well, when Edwards gets this hot, all an opponent can hope to do is limit the damage.
Tatum gets the bucket.
In crunch time, trying to get the foul, the bucket, or both.
Fourth quarter of play. We're about 2.5 minutes through it now. Here's Edwards. Oh, Edwards powers it home.
Well, we've seen this movie before. Edwards is rolling, and his energy right now is infectious.
Outside White. Three-pointer, no good.
Well, the defense catches a break there. You expect him to make those.
On the take.
And coming down the stretch, both teams still playing fantastic offense.
Yeah, in hopes that your opponent is just going to go cold. That's not going to happen, it doesn't look like in this one. This might go down to whoever has the last possession.
Connects from downtown.
Huge bucket by Holiday there. His team really needed that.
And Drew Holiday gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Boston making a switch here. There's 1:47 left in the final quarter. Outside Porzingis. From behind the arc. And again, Boston with the triple.
Well, at the 5 spot, Porzingis is one of the game's best shooters.
Outside Edwards. Reed sets a screen to the left wing. It's stolen by Holiday. Here's Brown. Driving inside. That one falls. Nice feed that time from Holiday. And it's a 9-point Celtic lead. Left side Conley. Outside Edwards. Pass to Reed. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in.
Well, excellent read there by Edwards. He saw someone had a better shot, and he got them the ball.
52 seconds left to play in the fourth. Knocked loose. Stolen by Conley. And it's good. Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
Well, who else but the steady veteran? Mike Conley comes through with the timely one.
Kick out to Brown.
really feels like they're in control. They've got a big lead with time dwindling.
Yeah, and at this point, the focus is take care of the ball, no needless fouls, and no threes.
It's stolen by Tatum. And here's Holiday. So we see Boston get the win here. Just a gutsy performance on the road.
It really was. When this one was up in the air late, they showed how tough-minded they are as a team.
And that'll do it, folks. I'm Brian Anderson, here with Grant Hill and Stan Van Gundy. And with us on the sidelines, we've got Allie LaForce. And so off the tip, it's Miami. Now Adebayo. Hero outside. Adebayo sets a screen. Shot clock at 5. The Heat need to get one up in a hurry. Robinson for 3. And it's blocked by Edwards. On the tape. And Edwards slams it in.
Yeah, Edwards has some big bounce in his step.
And Grant, the success of teams like the Timberwolves showing that size still matters.
Yeah, in this pace and space era, that may have come into question just a bit, but size and skill combined has always been your best bet at winning.
Oh, it's blocked. It deflects off the backboard. Pass to Wiggins. And here's Adebayo. The three-pointer off the mark. Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. Here's Roy. Driving inside. It's not going to go for him. Good D by Adebayo. Here's Ware. Hero on the wing. Pass to Ware. Three-pointer. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. And here's Edwards outside. No good there. And so Hero will bring it up for the Miami Heat. Still without a basket in the game. Adebayo, no good.
I mean, just a tough start. Missing their first 5 shots.
Here's Gobert. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up. Defensive Player of the Year 4 times over, Stan. Rudy Gobert tied for the record.
Yeah, Brian, alongside Dikembe Mutombo and Ben Wallace, and Gobert's capable of getting another one, too, assuming his countryman, Victor Wembanyama, doesn't start taking the reins.
Robinson for 3, and it's Gobert with a rebound.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
Edwards. Oh, rejected by Wiggins.
And I love the energy on defense. Wiggins working hard to come up with the block right there.
Back to Hero. Lets the 3 fly. Rudy Gobert with a rebound.
And just terrible defense. I don't know how he missed that shot.
Here's Edwards. It's good.
Edwards plays with such velocity.
Heat trailed by 5. With some arc, and the ball out of play. Timberwolves will have it. Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
I caught up with Coach Chris Finch. We chatted about strategy against Andrew Wiggins, and Coach put it simply. He said, quote, "We just got to stay on him at the arc on the inside. We can't let him give our defenders a slip." So the defense is going to try to stay as glued to the nimble Wiggins as possible for this one.
Good job there, Allie. Thanks. Here's the pick. Randall outside. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
Ooh, that's a tough break. After poor communication defensively, it leaves him all by himself.
Outside Mitchell. Out to the wing. Inside to win the drought. And Mitchell with the slam.
What? Wait. Hey, dunks are always for the big boys.
Emphatic move by the point guard.
Well, in this league, you can see powerful plays from anyone and anywhere. Your position no longer dictates your scoring options.
Wow, Julius Randle. We could feel the floor shaking on that one.
Here's Love. Outside Robinson. Over Edwards. Robinson can't hit.
They've been just a little bit better on the glass so far, showing their tremendous work ethic.
Pass to Reed. Oh, it's stolen by Mitchell. Fast break. Here come the Heat. Now here's Love. .34 seconds left in the first. Outside Robinson. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Misses the three. Used the pump fake well, but he couldn't capitalize.
This is not what they need from him this quarter. He is way off.
Randle, right side. He goes up again. And that's 2 points on the layup.
Yeah, and anytime there's contact in there with Randle, he usually gets the best of it.
Pass to Love. For three, Robinson. And so it's Minnesota closing out this quarter with a 7-point lead. They're communicating well and stringing together stops. And more. And for those of you just tuning in, second quarter action is where we are. And when you consider how Minnesota is doing, guys, your thoughts?
Well, it looks like hitting the boards hard was an emphasis of their attack. They knew how valuable it was to do so.
Yeah, we're not surprised by this. These guys work hard, and they are physical.
Pass to Conley. Takes the three. And Hero grabs the board. And so Hero will bring it up for Miami. 7-point differential. And the Heat unveiling the statue of Dwayne Wade, Stan, the face of the franchise forever.
Yeah, Brian, you think of what he meant to this organization, propelling it to its very first championship and then attracting other stars to Miami. He is truly the foundation.
Outside Burks. And Mike Conley picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Hero outside. From downtown. The rebound by the Timberwolves. Outside, DiVincenzo. And here's Clark for three. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Heat trail by 5. Burks for three. Can't get his first shot of the game to fall. And here's Minnesota now. Right side, DiVincenzo. Pass to Conley. Knocked loose. Stolen by Hero. Three-pointer. Counted from distance. Hero's got 5 points now in the quarter.
And Hero excels at that pull-up. It's a shot he has worked tirelessly on.
A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Well, the Timberwolves are one of the biggest teams in the association, and Coach Chris Finch said, quote, "That's how we're built. It's part of our identity. That's what we have to lean into. We want to be big at the rim and force our size on opponents." Brian, he loves to see other teams hesitant to venture into the paint.
Hearing footsteps, right? Allie, thanks. Highsmith grabs the board.
I mean, come on. That's a shot you expect him to make.
Stan, just how much of a catalyst has Mike Conley been since the Timberwolves got him?
Well, just listen to his teammates, Brian. They talk about leadership, the adult in the room, and he remains a very capable two-way player.
Reed for three. Can't get his first shot of the game to fall. The Heat on offense. They're on an 11-3 run. And he makes it. And now a 3-point Miami lead.
You can see they're starting to find their rhythm now. After a tough first quarter, they look much sharper.
And Chris Finch has called timeout. He wants to review the game plan. Both teams deciding to change it up. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second. Now here's Edwards. Can't get that one to go. He's just 2 of 5 now from the field. Burks with it. DiVincenzo picks him up. Pass to Robinson. Back to Burks. Screen by Robinson. Just 5 on the clock. And there's another one for the Heat.
Not many places on the floor Robinson will hesitate to shoot.
A minute 42 left in the second period. Boy, that foul looked intentional. Not exactly what you'd expect here.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't make sense given the situation.
And so it's Eric Spoelstra with the timeout here. He's going to talk it over with his guys.
Substitution on the court.
And there's 1:38 left in the second period.
They are really struggling to stop this run.
Well, this is a spot where you have to be able to go to your leaders. They need to step up and make a play to turn things around.
Timberwolves trail by 5. Right wing. Edwards looking it over to win the run. Here's Gobert. The kick out to Edwards. Good work there as it goes. Edwards got 6 points.
Well, I'd say any play with Edwards on the finishing end has a good chance of succeeding.
Left side, Robinson. He buries it from 3. Robinson's got 5 points now this quarter.
Wow, their opponent is doing a tremendous job spacing the floor.
Well, Grant, the Miami Heat are as professionally run as any franchise in this league.
Yeah, and certain numbers point to that. They minimize turnovers, they don't commit cheap fouls, and they hit their free throws. So, in other words, they don't give anything away.
So he gets them both.
Making shots at the line. You need a good routine, and he certainly has one.
Down low. Here's Ware. Second shot opportunity. Chalk up 2 there. Ware's gotten his first bucket of the night.
Plays like that make a coach's life easy. Love the work rate he shows on the glass to get the score.
5-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Here's Roy. To the paint. Here's McDaniels. Oh, and makes it with the kiss.
A smart idea from McDaniels, looking to convert inside.
Pass to Robinson. Over Edwards. He can't get that one to fall. And the first half comes to an end. We've got a close game going here. Miami out in front, up by 4. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter. And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. Here's Roy. The floater. Denied by Adebayo.
Well, Adebayo's a little undersized at the center spot, but he can give you some shot blocking.
Here's Roy. The offensive rebound.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better look. That's one he's got to knock down.
And there's the whistle. The illegal screen is the call.
And in the last 2 possessions, they've painted a picture of what not to do. Just way too loose with the basketball.
Timberwolves trail by 4. Here's Roy with the drive. And they're going to count that bucket, and they'll send him to the line. It could be a three-point play. He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
First team foul.
And that one misses. And, Coach, you've been lauded by some of your former players for your pregame preparation. I've seen it myself in the broadcasting world.
Well, I've also been cursed by some of those players for my pregame walkthroughs, Brian. People thought they were way too long, but I just wanted to be as prepared as possible.
Oh, my goodness!
What a dunk! Among the best athletes in this league, Anthony Edwards taking flight.
Adebayo up top. On the wing, Mitchell. There's a screen by Love. 5 to shoot. Mitchell misses. And it's Edwards with the ball for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They haven't given up any points here in the second half. And now we've got an intentional foul.
You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
So both teams making some changes here. Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. For the lead. Denied by Adebayo.
Oh, gotta be cautious when Adebayo is in the area. Showing once again that he's a legitimate shot-blocking threat. That right there, that's the kind of look this system is designed to create.
A multiple-time All-Star. What aspect of Adebayo's game stand catches your eye nightly?
Well, Brian, I'd say it's not one thing. He's a very complete player. He can rebound, defend, pass, score. This guy does it all.
And by all accounts, a great teammate as well.
That's exactly right.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Brian, Anthony Edwards, his disposition just brightens a locker room. Coach Chris Finch said he's an absolute joy to coach. Always in a great mood with a great smile. It doesn't matter if he plays well or he doesn't. Every day he has the same approach and the same attitude.
And he wants to be great, Allie. There's no doubt about that. Pass to Robinson. Fires the three. Rebound, Minnesota.
And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. You just missed it.
It's Edwards with a drive.
Terrific play by Edwards. Moves like this are what makes him so much fun to watch.
Hero outside. Outside Robinson. There's a screen by Wiggins. Takes a three. And it's Gobert with a rebound.
Yeah, you wonder what is he thinking right now. He's not shooting the ball well, and shots like that only hurt his team more.
Here's McDaniels. Oh, plenty of contact on that shot. Officials call the foul, and he'll take 2 free throws now. It's on Tyler Hero.
Well, McDaniels is a physical player. He doesn't mind getting roughed up a bit while trying to score.
Stan, a late first-round pick in 2020. Jaden McDaniels, one of the top young two-way players in the league.
Well, Brian, last season he was rewarded with a big money extension. His play tailed off just a bit, but still a key player for them moving forward.
Has to wear. Here's Mitchell. And again, no good by Miami. Minnesota leading by 3. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Gobert with it. Guarded now by Mitchell. Gobert inside. And it's Gobert in the comfort zone.
Well, defensively, they just look lost in the second half. They need to turn up their intensity and get back to the way they were defending in the first half.
And the shot's good by Wiggins.
And that's a good shot for Wiggins. I mean, he can be deadly from the corner.
Here's Roy. Oh, they get a hand on it. Stolen by Mitchell. Wiggins for 3. And it's Gobert with a rebound. 36 seconds left in the third quarter. Picked by Gobert. Here's Roy. And he goes in for the dunk.
Hey, when in doubt, Run the defender off the screen.
And you know, with a result like that, we'll see them run it again.
Yeah, defensive breakdown there. Gotta communicate and switch that screen.
Wiggins for three. Buries it from three. Wiggins has got 6 here in the quarter.
They are unconscious from outside. And so far, the defense has had no answer.
Look, when the three is falling like this, there's not a whole...
Wow, Rudy! Fancy!
Just wow. A monster flush from the big man.
5 ticks left in the third quarter. For three, Robinson. And some nice defense there to end the quarter.
Substitution report.
And we've just finished the third quarter. What a tight game we've got going. The T-Wolves on top, up by 3. And well, this has been a great contest so far. I imagine the fourth quarter could have more action in store for us. Heat trailed by 3. Pass to Highsmith. Adebayo sets a screen to the wing, right side. Here's Ware. Shot clock at 2. Burks for 3. Hauled in by DiVincenzo.
That's how you stay connected to a shooter. Was right in his jersey.
Here's Reed. Soft touch off the glass. And the Timberwolves lead by 5.
And force-feeding the ball inside. I mean, no reason to go away from what's working.
Pass to Adebayo. Here's Highsmith. Covered by Alexander Walker. Here's Highsmith. Here's Ware. Here's Adebayo. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
You gotta love the extra effort from Adebayo to keep the possession alive, grabbing the board and turning it into points of his own.
Here's Edwards. Tipped. Out of bounds. Timberwolves ball as Minnesota keeps possession. Outside, DiVincenzo. Pass to Reed. Buries it down low.
And after a sketchy first half, they're now looking much more comfortable on the offensive end.
I got yours.
Up top, Burks. Here's Ware. There's a screen. Now Burks. 6 to shoot. Here's Highsmith. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. Miami making a switch here.
Into the heat, number 55, Duncan Robinson.
The Timberwolves lead by 5. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth here. To the middle. Knocks it loose. Here's Edwards. Pass to Randall. Here's the 3. Fires in the triple. And the Timberwolves lead by 8.
And they've just built this lead by attacking the boards.
Here's Ware. Reed defending. Here's Adebayo. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Adebayo's got 4 points this quarter.
The moment Bam gets the ball close in, he's really hard to stop.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. Miami making a switch here.
Substitution report.
Over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. And here's Randall. Here's Roy. That's in. Coming off an assist from Randall.
Yeah, an underrated passer. Randall has a nice feel for the game and is willing to keep his teammates involved.
Robinson on the wing. Looking to end this cold spell. There's the triple. And it's Gobert with a rebound.
They need buckets to stay in this game. That's not the shot they're looking for.
And the call will be against Tyler Hero. That's his third foul so far. Outside Edwards. A look at the clock. A little under 3.5 minutes gone by in the fourth. Here's Gobert. And he's going to the line for two. The official saw contact while he was going up. It's going to be on Kevin Love.
Well, look, just the sheer size of Gobert is a problem in that.
The Timberwolves making a switch here. Heat trailed by 8. Pass to Robinson. Back to Hero. Outside Robinson. Outside Love. Clock at 6. No good on the 3. Minnesota leading by 8. A minute 9 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Edwards. Into the lane. And Edwards slams it in.
Nothing left to do but to watch the clock tick towards 0. Nice victory here for the Timberwolves.
And at first glance, it appeared to be an easy win for them. However, they had to weather some storms along the way, Grant.
Yeah, in terms of competitiveness, it was a lot closer than the final score indicates.
And they'll chalk this up as their third win of the year.
And they meet just twice, so taking the first meeting means a lot to this team.
And even the opposing fans can't deny this was a sensational game for Anthony Edwards.
Well, offensively, they needed him to be aggressive, and he delivered. What a game.
Pass to Roy. .23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Let's go with a 3. And Edwards good for 3. And the Timberwolves lead by 16.
This is what winning is all about. Playing your best when it matters most.
Yeah, they've got clutch guys on this team, and they never let up.
And so it's Minnesota easily grabbing this one. They didn't have too many problems tonight.
They didn't. Just a tremendous team effort. Once they had that big lead, they were not going to let the visitors back into the game.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now.
It's that time of the year. Happy holidays, everyone, from 2K Sports as we get set to bring you some mid-season NBA action. Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines. Last outing for Minnesota, the loss to the Wizards in Washington. Pass to Randall, and Randall throws it down.
Boy, what a throwdown by the well-built 6'9" Julius Randle with power.
Anthony Edwards is a classic two-guard, Clark, a spectacular player. What has impressed you most about his development?
Well, he's got a great body. He had it when he got into the league after just 1 year of college. Tremendous basketball body, strength and length and bounce. Now he's worked on refining his skill. I think the biggest thing that's impressed me is not only his work ethic, but his poise. He's not a guy that plays frantically. He plays with intentionality and purpose, and that's a tough thing to do when you've got his athletic ability and you're as young as he is. A focal point in this offense, Embiid has no hesitation shooting off the catch.
Outside Edwards. They grab their own miss. Right side Roy. Just 5 on the clock. Here's the floater. And he sinks the layup.
Brandon Roy goes up, fights through the contact, and finishes with some real force and tenacity.
Malone in the post. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. And here's Edwards. It's hauled in by George. Maxey into the lane. That doesn't go, and he's 0 of 1 from the field. Outside Edwards. Pass to Roy. Puts one up from 19. And that one comes up a bit short.
Look at him, and he's a little hit and miss from there, even without a defender in his face. No guarantee.
Greg, this is some kind of note. Last year, Minnesota, for just the second time, had ever won a series in the postseason.
Yeah, they've been bounced in the first round, 10 of 12 appearances. But last year's team was different. Their elite defense fueled the conference finals run.
And Nick Nurse, Greg, the 26th head coach in 76ers franchise history.
And Kevin, known for his creativity and that outside-the-box thinking, I think it's a good fit with this forward-thinking front office.
Now, here's DiVincenzo. Outside Edwards. Lots of room. And it falls over the rim and in. It's a tie ball game.
Well, Edwards looking almost automatic there. Didn't wait too long to put that shot up.
Here's Maxey. And slam dunk by Maxey.
And he gives that rim a good tug on the way down.
That's how you drive your point home right there.
He's lucky to get away with that, though, guys. I mean, it could have earned him a technical for hanging on too long.
Maxey with the block. Malone in the post. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Malone's got 5 now.
Malone just so hard to stop inside. Despite contact and good coverage, he blasts right through it.
To the paint. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Over in the corner, McDaniels. Here is Edwards.
You know, he just has not been himself this period. Just too inconsistent up and down at the offensive end.
George, no good.
He missed that one, but I've seen him drill shots from that distance in warm-up.
Well, that looked to me, guys, like a heat check and was maybe a step out of his range.
Now Maxey. Following the miss by Julius Randle from deep. It's stolen by Randle. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Edwards' shot is good.
Exactly how you want to run the break. Great execution by Edwards.
And so it's Maxey with it. He brings it up for the 76ers. Here's Embiid. Misses the layup. He had him with that pump fake.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Over to the wing. For three. Julius Randle with the rebound. The Timberwolves trail. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Right side, Edwards. And the wide open shot from Reed. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. Here's Embiid. Right on the bucket. Embiid's got his second bucket of the game to go.
There's PG creating for a teammate. Terrific dime drop.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
A good close contest so far as we finish the first. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Philadelphia.
So far, they've moved the ball well, leading to open, high-percentage looks. Lots of assists in this one.
And, you know, in no time at all, they've also started finding points inside, already taking apart that interior defense.
Greg, every year, injuries are a huge factor in shaping the title race. And I'm guessing that teams should probably put more of a premium on durability. What do you think?
Well, Kevin, I think all GMs take that into account. A team wants to be confident it'll have a stable roster over the course of a long season.
And then Roy with the jam.
Man, Roy can fly.
Now, here's Lowry. He's looking for Drummond and finds him. Outside Lowry. Pass to Oubre. And the three off target. They got the opportunity to get the lead back.
And they've been waiting for this chance all game long.
Here's Roy. And then Roy with the dunk.
And just showing off for the crowd a little bit there. Roy enjoys putting on a show.
You know, Greg, when you look at the Timberwolves' history, the first round had been a problem for them. But not last year, as they swept the Phoenix Suns.
And you got to look at it as being a tremendous success, right? Because going into the season, I don't know that anyone thought they would have made it to the conference finals. But, boy, that young group gelled well together, and the sky's the limit for the future.
And now let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, even with an MVP and Joel Embiid, the Sixers can't be a one-man show. Embiid says, I watch a lot of games and I see what's working. Good basketball means cutting, moving, guys getting off the ball, and it's moving and not sticking. But you need the right guys to execute that system. And I think we've got the right guys. Kevin?
I know you and I agree. They do, David. Thank you very much. And once again, off the mark by Minnesota.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Embiid absorbs the contact on the finish.
Embiid, such a monster on the inside. He puts a lot of pressure on you.
Pass to DiVincenzo. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. 5 on the clock. Lets the three fly. It's good from long range. DiVincenzo's got the lead up to 7 now for the Timberwolves.
Hey, you know, after a pedestrian first quarter of shooting, I think they've really turned it up offensively. I like where they're headed right now. The direction is good.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
Here's DiVincenzo after the made shot from Joel Embiid. Back to DiVincenzo. Misses the three. The 76ers trail by 5. Pass to Embiid. And stolen by DiVincenzo. And Roy with a clear path to the hoop.
A crazy athlete. Roy excels in the open floor.
There's Embiid. Minnesota with the rebound. And there's the call on Joel Embiid. That's his first foul. And here are the Timberwolves. They're on a 13-4 run right now. And Joel Embiid is a giant center. Clark, his size, his arm span. How does his sheer size, do you think, affect the game?
Well, he's a mountain of a man. Not only is he tall, he's wide, and he's deep, too, Kevin. In other words, he's hard to get around. And he's also hard to challenge because he's north and south. So, and you factor in his touch. This guy does things that I've not really seen a guy of his size do, particularly when you talk about pity-patting the dribble and knocking down face-up jumpers all the way out to the three-point line. It should almost be unlawful for a guy north of 3 bills to be doing that.
And a chance now to catch up on some numbers of the hustle stats for the Timberwolves.
Right off the bat, they're going after the ball, looking to jump into the passing lanes and create some steals in transition.
And I think we've also got to talk about the tempo they played with right from the get-go. I mean, they've been deadly in transition, too.
Here's Conley. Paul George making his last shot. Pass to Alexander Walker. And that one falls coming off Conley's feet. Alexander Walker's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Here's Drummond. Back to Malone. He's looking for Drummond and finds him. Outside for George. Traps in the tray. George has got 5 points now this quarter. Pass to Edwards. Over George. And that one released in time, but no good. And so it's Minnesota bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance, and it's paying off for them. Back to the action in just a minute. We played through the first half. Plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. Minnesota leading by 7. And Clark, we know the last handful of years, the 76ers have been a threat in the East.
7 straight years of playoff runs. Can't get past that second-round barrier, though, Kevin. But as far as success, they've been as consistent as it comes in the East the last decade.
And here's Lowry. After Anthony Edwards made that last three-pointer.
Kyle Lowry with a beautiful setup.
Here's Conley. No scoring in this one. Outside Edwards. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Edwards got the lead up to 11 now for the Timberwolves.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Well, I think they're getting caught in that in-between zone, no man's land, giving up 3 straight from beyond the arc right now.
And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That's his first foul. And the 76ers with some changes. Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. Outside Edwards. Back to Conley. Up top, Randall. Paul George with the steal. And here we go. George heading to the hoop. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Boy, good stick-to-itiveness there from George. Sticks with the shot despite the foul that he gets while in the air.
And George drops them both. There's always a surprise, isn't there, Clark, in the offseason? Let's go back to 2022. That offseason, the Timberwolves going all in on Rudy Gobert.
Basically, Kevin, they traded 5 firsts plus a bunch of good players for Gobert. It was derided at the time, and I can understand why, but Rudy's defense has taken them to another level, and he's actually been a little better offensively than people thought he would be.
Now, here's Maxey. Embiid punches it down.
Strong move and a little spicy, too. Embiid's passion for the game, the way he plays, I love it.
No one near Randle as he lets it go. Gets the jumper from the corner to fall. And the Timberwolves lead by 7. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. This team has handed a lot of responsibility to Tyrese Maxey, but Greg, he's lived up to it.
And has grown very well into his role with the team, showing that he can be a scorer all over the floor. Amazing to think how far he's come in such a short amount of time.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. At this point in his career, Paul George says he's in bully mode. He said, every night I'm on the floor, I'm there to dominate. Whether it's being more physical or going right at whoever I got to go at, you're going to feel me. I'm having that approach every time. I'm there to destroy you. Kevin?
Wow. I love it, though, D.A. I got to admit it. Awful powerful. Thank you. Here's Yabusele. And the call on the shot sends him to the line. It's going to be on Rudy Gobert.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Old school D right there, just telling them no easy layups. It's as simple as that. And that's what you expect from them.
You know, Clark, the days of trust the process are long gone. The Sixers are now focused on the now.
As well they should be, Kevin. With a superstar big guy in his prime in Joel Embiid, there's no time like the present. And it's not going to last forever, so they need to capitalize.
And that one, good. Yabusele's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
They didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Outside Roy. Oubre pulls it in. The 76ers trailed by 5. Pass to Drummond. With some arc. Rudy Gobert with the rebound. Roy goes in. Off target at the rim. Now here's Drummond. Back to Oubre. And there's the drive. Gobert pulls it in. And it's Conley with the ball for the Timberwolves. They've led by as many as 11 points. And that's an intentional foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but it certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
The Timberwolves shooting their first free throw of the game.
And at the line last season, about 78% as a team. Pretty solid numbers. And you have to appreciate the work ethic that Roy has. A true gym rat. And this guy just wants to get better.
Now here's Gobert. After the miss from Tyrese Maxey. Back to Gobert. Outside for Roy. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. The 76ers trailed by 8. Malone down low. George with no one around. A three-pointer is right on target. George has got 10 points.
Smooth and consistent. That's how I describe George's three-point shooting.
Here's Randle. And Randle throws it down.
And one step ahead of the defense with that solid screen.
And then, Greg, the monster dunk to finish it off.
Boy, picture-perfect teamwork that time, guys. One guy sacrificing for the other. That's how you succeed in this league.
Gobert in the corner. Back to Randall. There's the screen. On the wing, Brandon Roy. That's in, coming off an assist from Randall. And it's a 9-point Timberwolves lead.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Here's George. And no good that time.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves in control with a 9-point lead to end the quarter. And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth and final quarter. The 76ers trailed by 9. There's the pick. To the middle. Here's Yabusele. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Yabusele's got 9 points here in the second half. Now Edwards. Pass to DiVincenzo. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
First team foul. Substitution on the court.
Here's Reed. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Look at Edwards slotting home the 3.
How about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
No question about it. They found a nice rhythm from deep.
That one is good from Joel Embiid. 13 points for Joel Embiid.
You know, with his size and offensive versatility, the defense really has its hands full with Embiid.
No one near Edwards as he lets it fly. A 3-pointer off the mark. Here's George. Pass to Embiid. From deep 3-point territory. Here's Malone. And they had their chances. 2 offensive rebounds, but they still come up empty. Edwards looking it over. There's McDaniels. And finished by McDaniel.
McDaniels going upstairs with an athletic move.
And it's Nick Nurse calling timeout here. It's a chance for them to regroup and refocus. And the 76ers making a change here. And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Nick Nurse told his team. Now, he asked for one thing, intensity. He said, I need you to crank it up to 11 out there. That's how we turn it around. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, David.
And you know what? He's just not on his game. No doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team. And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Certainly. I mean, they saw a weakness in the perimeter defense and took advantage of it.
And they double up Embiid. And it's Drummond missing. Timberwolves leading by 13. Randall outside. Outside Edwards. Back to Randall. Outside Edwards. 6 to shoot. Minnesota needs to get off a shot here. A shot by McDaniels. No good. The 76ers trail by 13. Here's Malone. Pass to Embiid. Drummond a screen. Offensive rebound. And finally they hit one.
Hey, if you don't box out Drummond, this happens. He's an exceptional offensive rebounder who can hurt you big time with the putbacks.
A one-man show offensively, and that's almost always good news
for his team.
Down low. Here's Drummond. Goes back up. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
You know, with Drummond's free throw history, teams aren't afraid to get physical with him inside. I mean, they'll send him to the line before they give him an easy look.
And what about the evolution of Tyrese Maxey? Greg, according to him, he's just getting started.
Well, Kevin, I'd have to agree. I mean, he's got some big shoes to fill with James Harden leaving, but each year this guy has just gotten better. And not only has he matched Harden's production in Philadelphia, I think he's exceeded it.
It's stolen by Randall. Here's Edwards. And finished off by Edwards.
Watch out now. Look out below. Edwards rising to the raft.
Roy with the block. And they're able to recover. Timberwolves leading by 14.
And so only one team answered the bell tonight, guys. Not a monster blowout by any means, but still a double-digit victory for the Timberwolves.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, you know, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And that next meeting will be their second and final game of the season series.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. My goodness.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
And, you know, this run shows what kind of attitude this team has. I mean, the win is there, go get it.
And you can sense that these fans, these players, they are ready to celebrate.
And I think they can start that celebration right now. I mean, what a terrific team victory.
Roy with it. So it's Minnesota winning this one easy. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd.